In this video, we are going to solve quadratic equations by factoring. Okay, so let's look at our first problem. We have x squared minus 5x is equal to 0, and we want to solve for x by factoring. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out an x. So we're left with x minus 5 is equal to 0. So now what we want to do is we want to set x equal to 0, and we also want to set x minus 5 is equal to 0. Okay, so we have x is equal to 0, and we also have that x minus 5 is equal to 0. Okay, so well, x is already equal to 0, so now we need to solve for x over here. Okay, so I'm just going to remove the parentheses. Okay, so if we add 5 to both sides, we get x is equal to 5, okay? And so we solve for x by factoring. Okay, so let us look at our second problem. We have x squared plus 12x is equal to 0, and we want to solve for x by factoring. So we're going to say x, we're going to pull out one x, and we're left with x plus 12 is equal to 0. So we're going to say x is equal to 0 and x plus 12 is equal to 0, which means that x is equal to 0 because it's already equal to 0. And if we subtract 12 from both sides, we get x is equal to negative 12. Okay, and that is how you do the second problem. Now let's look at the third problem. It's a little tricky, so be sure to really take note. This time I'm going to pull out a negative x. So when I pull out a negative x, we're left with x plus 3 is equal to 0. Be careful here because the signs change, because if we were to go backwards and multiply through, we would have to distribute the negative sign to give you the negative 3x. So make sure that you pay attention there. So now we have negative x is equal to 0 and x plus 3 is equal to 0, which means that x is equal to 0. And if we subtract 3 from both sides, we say x is equal to a negative 3. Okay?